Hi and welcome to EDN206. My name is Hannah Teres and I'm your unit coordinator and I'm also your online tutor for this unit. And in this video, first of all, I want to wish all of you a very warm welcome to the unit. And I'm just going to walk you through a few things about this unit, what you can expect and what you are expected to do in this unit, how you can complete it successfully, and especially as I know some of you might be new for external studying, I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks on how you can organize your studies, your time, and how you can make the most out of this unit.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at EDN206 and what it's all about. First, I'll explain to you how the navigation works in the online unit. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about how to complete this unit, because it is a bit different from some units that you may have done before. And I'll also point you to some useful resources that are also available through the online unit in the LMS. But first, let's start by some navigation tips. And to do that, I'll take you to the online unit, to the environment through which you have also accessed this video.
So, okay, this is our online unit. This is the LMS. Some of you are very familiar with this from before, but some of you maybe not. I'm just going to explain how I've set up this online unit for you and where you find all the information that you need. So as you can see when you scroll down, this might look a bit different to some other online units that you might have done before. As often they are organized weekly or topics based, but this unit is not so much based on a weekly schedule. It's based on tasks. I'm going to explain that in a bit more detail in a few moments. But since it's organized by tasks, we only have 5 blocks of information in the LMS. We have the Getting Started section, which is right here. That's where you found this video from. We have lectures and videos. We have readings and discussions, and then we have blocks for each of the 2 tasks. Task 1, ICT trends and issues, and task 2, authentic learning project. So that's where all the information will be available. And it doesn't look like there's an awful lot in there, but always by clicking on the title out here, it opens more resources for you. And you can navigate either with the back button, or you can use the next section button, which is always at the end and always at the beginning of each section. So by clicking on that, you get to the next one, which in this case is lectures and videos, and then you can just navigate back and forth. Another way of navigating through the different sections is through the unit menu, which is on the in the middle, on the right-hand side from the the main screen, and there are all the names of our different sections: Getting Started, lectures and videos, readings and discussions, and the 2 tasks. So it's really quite straightforward to find all the information in there, and by clicking on the title, you get all the content that has been organized under that title, both here as a menu, and it also opens the section for you. So you always have these 2 ways of navigating through the information. And as you can see, it's not really organized on a weekly basis. So all of this, most of the information is already here from the very beginning. So you can just browse and look at everything, read everything at your leisure. Of course, we do have due dates and deadlines for the tasks. So they do sort of set a pace for the studies. But for navigation purposes, it's organized thematically rather than on a weekly basis. Other things that you have here are under the welcome section. This is a very handy place to get started. We have announcements and news. These are something that you will also get in your email. They are messages from me, basically, whenever something important is happening, or if I need to remind you of something, or if there are any changes or anything at all. That will be through announcements and news. There is the frequently asked questions section. There is a general discussion forum. In this unit, we have 3 discussion forums. We have general, and we have a discussion forum for each task. And I would please like to request you to respect these different discussion forums. So if you have a question about task 2, please ask it in the task 2 discussion forum, because this makes the discussion so much easier to follow for everyone and also for me, so that I don't miss any of your questions if you ask them. There's also unit information, and this is our unit guide as a PDF, and I strongly recommend you to start with that. Just have a good read on the unit information and see what's in there. You'll find, let's just have a quick look. This is what it looks like. You will probably be interested not so much on who's been reviewing this information in what years, but there's information about the unit. There's contact details of people involved in this unit. There's information on how to study, and this is something that you will find quite important. This is the study schedule. This is also available on the LMS, so just trying to make sure that you don't miss any of this information. This is our weekly schedule of what happens each week, but since it's not so bound on a weekly schedule, but this sort of gives structure to your studies, and you'll find all the due dates here, and the break weeks and all of that. When you scroll down, you come to assessment and how your final grades are determined. And then there is a lot more information on each assignment. And there's also going to be a video introduction to each of the tasks. When you look at these at first, they might look a bit complicated, because there's 2 parts, and there's peer reviews, and it might look like it's a bit confusing, but please bear with me, because I'm going to explain all this in much more detail in future videos to come. So I promise that it will actually be quite easy and not as difficult as it looks here, because it's a bit wordy. So that's our unit guide, and you'll continue to have access to your unit guide throughout the unit. On your far right, you have links to some important resources. The Australian curriculum website, authentic learning website. These are things that will make more sense as we go on. Technology toolbox for educators, which is a fantastic resource for education technology. Just have a browse, click on these things and see what's in there. So that's basically how our LMS works. And if you have any questions, just feel free to contact me or ask questions on the uh, discussion forum in the LMS. It's actually a great idea to ask them there, because that way everyone else will have access to the answer as well, and I don't need to answer the same question maybe like 20 times or so. So if it's a general question, please ask it on the general discussion forum. I already mentioned that that the unit is task based rather than a weekly schedule based. And what this means in practice, for some of you, this might already be a familiar concept if you've done some other units with me before. But what it means in practice is that that there is a strong emphasis on the learning tasks. So instead of the familiar format of a lecture recording, then maybe a reading, a weekly reading list, and some discussion forum questions. We don't really have any of those. Well, we do have those elements, but we don't use them the same way. So there's instead of focusing on those things, you'll focus on completing the tasks, and the tasks are both of them are quite big. So you will be spending most of the time in this unit on your tasks. You'll be working on those tasks. We don't have an exam. This means that that the assessment of this unit is integrated in these two assessment tasks. So you only complete them to complete the unit. And as we go on, there, as I already mentioned, there are lectures and readings as well, but they are there to support the completion of tasks, and there's no set list of readings. The readings will be available through the LMS in the section that I just showed a moment ago, readings and discussions. And there's no due date for those readings. So you just take the readings and read them as you go, and they are designed to help you complete your tasks. So I'm not watching if you've read them or not, but I can promise you that reading them will help you perform better in your tasks. The same applies for the lectures. And these lectures, they're not lectures in the traditional sense of the word, and they are not available through the Echo lecture capture system. Instead, they are YouTube videos, pre-recorded, some of them by me, but not all of them by me. I've also added some videos from outside this unit, some resources that will be helpful, especially in when you come to task 2, where you concentrate on an authentic learning design. So those lectures will also be there for you to watch at your leisure. As for the readings, there's also discussion forums that go with the readings. The purpose of the discussions, again, they're not compulsory, but again, I can promise you that really, the more you put into this unit, the more you will be getting out. So this is a self-directed learning experience, really. The discussion forums work in such a way that in order for you to be able to access other people's comments, you will first need to leave a comment of your own. So you read a reading and participate in the respective discussion by adding your own thoughts of what you got from the reading, what questions what questions you have from the readings, whatever. There is no; these are not assessed. they're there to support you and not to serve as assessment items. And the reason it works that way is to first of all to encourage original thinking. When you read something and you first need to formulate your own response, it I hope it will help you think about what you read and not just copy what someone else has written about it. This will ensure that there will be a wider range of different responses and different comments, questions, and ideas regarding the readings. So that's how that will work. The resources that are there to help you are, well, I actually already talked about this, didn't I? There's the lectures, there's readings and discussions, the study schedule, and the unit guide, and the useful links that I showed to you a while ago. So that's how it works, really. And I do hope that you found this information useful. There will be more information about both learning tasks as we go on. And meanwhile, I would just like to encourage you to participate in the first activities that you find under the Getting Started section. I'll just take you there for a moment to show you what you can do to get started with the unit. Here we go. You have the Getting Started section here. This video is there. There's information about the unit. And there's an activity. It actually says here that it's activity 2. It's activity 1. There is no other activity here, so I'll have to change that. Introduce yourself to your peers. This is really important. It's another discussion forum. And since we're all participating online, we don't meet face to face, it's even more important than in a face-to-face unit to actually go and introduce yourself in this forum. It's always so much nicer to work with people that you know a little bit about. So please start by doing that, by reading the unit guide and just browsing in the LMS and seeing what you can find there. One more final thing that I wanted to show to you is what the lectures and videos look like. There is a weekly schedule that looks like this. So there are little thumbnails for some of the videos, whereas for some it's just a link. And I don't know why it turned out that way. Honestly, I inserted the links exactly the same way for all of these. So please don't miss the ones that don't have the thumbnail image. There's heaps that don't have it. They're just links. So just click on the links and it will take you to YouTube where that video is. So all the videos will be here. Most of them are already there. The ones where I introduced the tasks are not there yet because I haven't recorded them yet, but they will be there in a very short while. Okay, so that's all for this introductory video. I look forward to working with you and to seeing you online, having discussions with you in the LMS. And I hope you enjoy your studies, and just if you run into any trouble or have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me and ask. Thanks. See you online.